Hey people, today we'll be watching my guild's progression kill of Smolderon. To start off, here are my talents. If you want to look more at any of my other build details, they'll be in the log below. For this fight, I'm using Ashes of Embersoul and 1 minute Convoke. I start off the fight by running around to the backside of Smolderon. The reason for this is I got parried way too many times on pull, and it would bother me quite a bit. For referencing different parts of my screen here, under my character I have my Kikili bar and some boss timers, and above my character I have some K's weak aura MRT note stuff. This is where I put all my cooldowns for this fight because I can't have them on in my Kikili because it just won't work around the amp phases. I still some timings from lords.io for my note. For each of the soaks I have to do, I use bark skin, and in the later ones I'll use survival instincts. For the first bait, we put them in a straight line from the center of the room. Then, for all the future baits, we try to pack them as closely as possible to the old stuff, and keep any form of movement and pack in any areas as we can. For the earlier flame wave sets, it's actually easier for me to just stand still, though this won't be the case in the later ones, and I'm just trying to do my best to not get hit whatsoever.
I missed my first one. That's my bad.
So shortly here, we'll be coming up on the first intermission. My weak ore here pops up and tells me that I have about a few seconds until I should be pushing Berserk. I push it actually a little bit before the intermission starts, just so that it'll be up in time more so for the second intermission. Early on in the intermission, Feral Frenzy comes off cooldown, and Akili wants me to use it, but I opt not to instead. I just use Shred or other skills and keep my Blood Talents going until I can get the damage amp. Then, after I get all my amps up, I use Convoke after spending my combo points. After this point, I am now using Shred more often than not after using a finisher, just in case sudden ambush comes up. I'm not actually tracking it, and Hikili will attempt to get me to empower my rakes, but I'm using Shred because I want the extra combo points to go towards getting my Berserk cooldown up for the next intermission.
Alright, we're gonna be filling this in. If you get an early tornado, you can hang out by orange. You don't need the yellow stack melee. Yeah, this is good, this is good. And melee, we're gonna fill in this gap after.
After the intermission, I more often than not start using my Tiger Dash to go way around the outside to dodge through the flame waves. I just found that they were less clustered in the outside of the ring, and then I would run back in. I would lose a couple seconds of uptime maybe for this, but it was worth it over just not dying or getting hit by a ton of extra flame waves for me.
Standard L. Standard L.
Each you go.
Though, on this particular set of flame waves, I got into a particularly fortunate position, and everything dodged me by a long shot. After that though, I luck into being the next fixate. I hit my macro button second in line, so I'll be the second person to explode. I run to the far side of Smolderon to accommodate for this. Now that we're entering the second intermission, my note comes up and tells me that I'll be using my Berserk, Ashes, and Convoke this time. I got the Berserk cooldown successfully here, so all I had to do was grab the buff and send everything.
True.
Honestly, that's a perfect idea.
I'm down for it. Yeah, let's do it. That way we use the whole fucking room.
Here at this point, we use the lock gate to get out to the outer ring in time. Sometimes I would use a Sunfire here on the boss and Tiger Dash back in, but this time I wasn't feeling particularly up for it, so I just stayed in cat form and Tiger Dashed back into the center as soon as I could. As you may hear at this point, our raid leader and our tank are discussing the positioning, and we decide to use that blue alleyway as a possible last resort alleyway at the end of the fight in case we need it. I barely managed to dodge my way through the lava waves here, but I do so successfully, and it felt pretty good at the time.
Watch orb spawners. Hazy go.
That's good. Good.
Yep. Rupa go. Pack go.
I don't know the circle here, so I'll be soaking. This is when I start using my survival instincts to help soak, because things hurt later in the fight. I also use my renewal and my self-regrowths to help pop myself back up a little faster and get rid of the healing debuff.
Hit your buttons. Ray go. Land go.
At this point, the third intermission is starting. This is the one where we're using Hero because melee has a full uptime on the fight, if they don't position correctly. I do my best to grab the balls, and I almost miss them, but I do actually manage to get them. Unfortunately though, this time I didn't get my Berserk up in time to use with my Convoke. I use Convoke and then send Berserk anyways, in hopes I'll be able to get it up in time for the last intermission.
I pop my for Exentrick. It doesn't even fucking touch me. One orb got to the boss. Alright, we got all this area.
Standard out. We can bait in this area. If you get an early tornado, out by yellow is fine.
After that intermission, I get one of the first soaks on this, and also my innervate gets called, so I push that. Unfortunately, I don't have the survival instincts after this one, so instead I use Bark Skin and my Healthstone along with my Self-Free Curse to help get rid of the healing debuff and keep myself topped up as fast as possible. Then I run out as far as I can to bait the pools.
We're gonna use this space.
Hit your buttons. Watch spawners, hit your buttons.
If you can do if you're a far tornado, please go by yellow, new yellow. So then we can have more of the space for baiters.
At this point, I decide that I'm going to do my best to bait the pools as far away as possible. So you'll see me take an interesting detour away from the boss after this level ways go off.
Keep Blunder alive.
Don't die.
Also at this point, my macro is broken for regrowth, and I auto unshift into casting it on myself, and have to cancel it before running back up to the boss. We are now starting the last intermission. Again, I don't have my Berserk up in time, but I do have Ashes and Comfort, so I make sure to grab the buffs and send that.
We got a beer at farm?
No, I don't know. We do. Get him up.
He's got
And gate.
Blockade.
I'm just gonna AMS it.
Second thoughts.
Fucking send it, guys.
And with that, we enter the Softened Rage, or Hardened Rage necessarily, what you want to call it.
Blunter, if
But
you have your
we're at
AMC,
like a little less than
use it when it gets to the
5%,
center.
and we're gonna kill this
Center
boss.
circle early.
Oh guys, we got it.
We're
Fucking,
Finally.
Oh my god.
Oh,
fucking bless.
Let's fucking go.
And with that, thanks for watching. I ended up getting given the Ashes of Embersoul, so I hope to use that in a dungeon or two. If you've watched this far, please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting if you have any questions.